morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, it's been a couple of minutes since I've done any videos. Call me the slacker in chief. You know, this job is pretty awesome, but you know, this is long. Dip ahead. Yeah, a bunch of these. And they ain't no joke. Woo, here we go. Oh, 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 oh. 1, 2. 10 axles. Shift your gears. Oh, you can't find the right gear. Not the first time. We are in Utah. Well, I guess that's kind of obvious, but we're on what they call 9 Mile. I don't know where it gets its name from. I'm pretty sure it's longer than 9 miles. There's some Indian artifacts, well, I guess graffiti. They call it something else. They preserve the graffiti. You scratch on the walls, you know, paintings, artwork. We won't see any of it. But you can look it up on Google Maps. 9 Mile Canyon, 9 Mile Ranch will probably pop up. That's coming up here in a bit. So this is sort of the back way to Wellington, Utah. Yes, we are super load, meaning we have a truck, a semi-trailer, and then a pup in the back for about this one's about 126,000 pounds, maybe about 126.5, something like that, of oil, crude oil. You can see behind Mike the choked chicken there. They trailers in the back. I'll leave it there because you can get a more gist of it here. 105 foot long. Oh no, we have another one. This one's not so bad. We took this way because I kind of overloaded my truck a little, my trailer a little bit. On my axles, my drive axles, I'm a little heavy, not too bad, but could possibly get a ticket or a reprimand from the scale house. But I might be just right, I don't know. But anyway, that, and they're doing road construction on Highway 191 between Duchesne, Utah and Helper, Price, Wellington. And then it was just such a gorgeous day, such a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I had to, like, I was compelled to bring back, no, I should say, bring you along for the ride, Chuck, and hit those brakes. Keep thinking that I can just leave the gear where it's at. Those automatic days in that blue truck spoiled me. But I don't mind shifting. Shift your gears. About 18 of them. Snacking on a few Pringles. Pretty quiet, this road here. So on the other side of the mountains behind us, there's an asphalt highway. You get to the top, and then it immediately turns to dirt. And that, trying to see that rock. It looked like there was a round rock perched on the edge of a rock face there. It looked kind of neat, but a trees was covering it when I went to use my mirror. Anyway, it turns to dirt, like 5 miles of it, maybe 4 to 5 miles, something like that. All downhill. And then you get asphalt again, and for about another mile, and then it dead ends into this highway, 9 Mile. Takes a little longer, but it's shorter in mileage, and kind of less stressful. I'm dealing with all these other trucks and traffic and stuff like that. The fan kicks on, it really turns up the volume. Speed limit 35, we're doing 37. Steady as she goes. Bump, bump, bump. Oh, so check this out. A little theory I have. I don't know if it's working, but it seems like it's working. So, after I got the boot from Quality, I guess after 10 years, 10 and a half years, they give you a boot as a longevity gift. So, you know, I took the summer off because they gave me the boot on June 1st, I think, of 23. Because the Build Back Better is so good, there's so much work. I was sitting a lot. It's all a big misunderstanding, but I told him, I go, but you fired me, so see ya. You got a good driver, you just let him go. Whatever, no care. Anyway, my grandson, my youngest, May 3rd, he was born. So he wasn't very old. And when I was watching him with my daughter, because I was just trying to figure out what I was going to do. My daughter would go to work, so I'd watch him. And I told him one time, I looked at him and he just stared at me, and I go, "You just came from where I'm going, huh?" He cracked a little smile. But I gave him Slipknot. I do that to all my grandkids. I got them hooked on the metal just because it's really extremely hard to play. It's hard. It's the hardest stuff to do, I think. Especially when you get into the really, really hardcore stuff. Like there's a band called Lorna Shore, Lornashore. They, it's like a deathcore metal band, but the drummer, you know, usually drummers will play like 120 beats a minute, you know. That's like 2 beats every second. 2001 is like 2, you know. So this guy's playing the drums at like 700 beats a minute. Absolutely insane. There's some videos on YouTube about him playing. Anyway, because my daughters, they listen to girly music, and I call the bubblegum music, and then the crap, they call it rap, but I want my influence in there too. So I give the kids the metal, and they love it. They actually do, all my grandkids. And it broadens their musical spectrum a bit, I guess, if you will. But and that Lorna Shore band, I really do. I like them. They're good. But it's not for everybody, understandable. And so I started, like one morning I was laying in bed, and my daughter brought my grandson in for me, and I was watching Danny Carey from Tool. It's a drum cam for Vic Firth drumsticks, and you should watch that video. It's got like 34 million views on it. He was just watching it with me. So then every time she would give him to me in the mornings, when she was like getting ready for work and getting my granddaughter Mila ready for school and stuff, so I would just kind of hang out with the baby and watch video until I got up. And then so then I started watching, I call it drum cam. I typed it into the search on YouTube, and I would watch different drummers playing. And he just loved watching it with me. Watching monster trucks with him too, just to give him something a little different. And whoa, up we go. Well, now it's to the point where I don't care what he's doing. Like, if I want to babysit him, or if I'm babysitting him and he's kind of messing around or being fussy or whatever, I put Danny Carey back on the YouTube or the TV. Boom, stops whatever he's doing and just memorizes, or just is mesmerized by his playing. Of course, Danny, the octopus, such a phenomenal drummer. I can't think of a better teacher. So in my thinking is that I'm implanting into his subconsciousness drums, and I can't think of a better teacher than Danny Carey. He doesn't know that I have a drum set because it's put up in the storage unit, and then I have my electronic kit in the garage, but my PA system's in my bedroom. So my granddaughter wanted a bigger room, and since I'm never there, I told them they could switch rooms, but I have a queen size bed, and I don't need that big bed. It's just me. So I'm going to get another room, get a smaller bed, and then put my drum kit in there, and then my acoustic kit, leave the electronic one out in the garage. And one of these days I'm going to surprise him and show him that Papa can play too. Not nearly as good as Danny Carey, but my theory is that because he's already, they bought him a little plastic drums kit, a hard plastic. It's got, you tap on those things and they light up and make noise. And they're little plastic drumsticks, and he's tapping on them both hands, left, right, right, left, you know, doing that stuff. And he's a year and a few months old now, maybe a year and a half. May, June, July, August, September, October, well, close to a year and a half. But it seems to be working because he does love the drums, and anytime, like I said, if he's running around and everyone's standing around the kitchen room, the dining room table, and kids are running around and stuff, I'll turn that video on my phone, crank the volume up a little bit. He'll hear that Danny Carey playing. It's called Numa, spelled with a P, and I don't know if I could spell it, but Numa with a P. He stops whatever he's doing and comes running over to grab my phone, or not grab it, but look at what because he knows what it is. He just hears the beginning guitar licks and he's hooked. So, like I told my daughter one time, she's like, "Are you good with him?" I go, "Yeah, we're just getting our drum lessons in." His music lessons, I called it. Now I'm trying to program him from a very, very, very young age to hopefully liking the drums and becoming a drummer. And then when he does, if he does choose to, which it seems like he does, nothing's being forced, obviously. You're just watching TV at the moment. But is well interested in it. So, yeah, that maybe he'll be a professional drummer when he's older. Hopefully. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then, you know, it's like, I programmed that kid. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it seems like it's logical. It seems like it would work, so I'll let you know in quite a few years. But I'm going to put my acoustic kit up here pretty soon and let him actually hear Papa play, and then let him start banging on him a bit, drive my daughter crazy, I reckon. And then maybe he could be one of them kid drummers that is actually pretty good. So we'll see. Oh, changing gears too soon, but we're in no hurry. Got another dip anyway. Just another dip in the road. There's a few of these on this highway. So this is what takes a little longer, because we're obviously going slower. It's like 30 miles, I think, less than going the other, or maybe it's 20, 25, something like that. Anyway, but it takes a little longer. Well, that's because you're just lazy dazing, and we don't have any smog from California fires. The tree huggers save the trees, and then Mother Nature burns them down. Of course, a couple of freakazoids torch them too. Pyros. But yeah, it's just a beautiful day in the neighborhood. September 27th, 9:52 in the morning. This is a late start for me. This is like banker's hours. Oh, you can see right here, some trucker, see all the white spots? He was going too fast, hit the dip and came into a curve. The only reason I say it's a trucker is because you can look at the marks right here, and you'll see the skidding right there. See how it looks like it's dualies? I'm not sure, but anyway, somebody messed up. Somebody messed up really bad yesterday. On Highway 6, a coal truck. You know, kind of like this right here, but hauling coal. Not being a tanker, but definitely doubles, big doubles. Over 100,000 pounds, I know that. He was probably cruising along at the speed limit, 65, and a car was getting out on the highway and decided it would be best to do it right when the truck got there. So needless to say, he pulled out, or she pulled out right in front of that truck doing 65. Yes, there's multiple fatalities. You can look it up in Utah, like it's either Price or Helper, Utah. Maybe it's Price, Highway 6, fatal accident. The truck was green, like, so there, how can you not see this lime green cab? That's the first thing you're gonna see, is this lime green cab. And I was like, people they don't look. Like, they stop, they look, but their mind is off into wherever, so they're not seeing what they're actually looking at. And so they just pull out in front, and I can just imagine the poor guy driving the truck was like, oh my God, they just did that. And I think he survived, but is in the hospital, but I'm not sure. Everybody in the car, I assume, was, exited upstairs, like, right then. I just imagine the look on their face, if they even saw it coming, because they obviously weren't looking. So, yeah, and I got stuck in it yesterday. One of the drivers came back this way, went up 9 Mile. Now, you're not supposed to go with a super load like we got. We're not supposed to go up that hill, the dirt road part. We can go down it because it's narrow. So if another, especially being super, if another truck comes along and you can't back these up, I can back them up a little bit, but not that far. And so, you can go down it, you just can't go up it. But anyway, one guy went this way, but he's a semi, meaning he didn't have a pup. And then this other dude was following me, and I got back onto Highway 6, and I knew that, I'm just going to wait in line, because I know. And there was a side road that came through Price and merged over by that accident. And he was following me, and then he's all like, that car's, you might be able to get in there before that car. And he goes, no, they sped up, cut me off, because he was turning left. And so he goes, I'm gonna go through town because another truck did, and I'm gonna come out that other way. I'm like, all right, let me know how it is. This is 9 Mile Ranch, right here. Campground, lodging. What does it say? Something about breakfast over there. But it took me 2.5 hours to get through that, and that's with traffic flowing and like there was 2 lanes, one each way. And that stretch of the highway is like 5 or 6 lanes wide because you have other highways merging on, and then it's a 4 lane as it is. So I think it's every bit of 5 right there where that accident was. The truck was headed southbound and ended up in the northbound lanes so he's coming from the left, right here, the left side. He ended up on our right side, on that big 4-lane, 5-lane highway. So this other dude, Brandon, he hauls oil too. He's got the same truck that we got, this old Black Betty. Whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam, whoa, Black Betty. And he's like, hey, I'm stopped over here. He goes, but we're moving. I go, I haven't moved at all. And then he's like, hey, I got through. I'm like, dude, so 2 hours after that, I finally got through. Maybe it was 2 hours and 10 minutes. I don't know. It was just BS. It really screwed me up. I definitely had the wrong decision-making thought process yesterday. But, so yeah, I mean, dangerous business on the highway. So, I had a electrical issue on Black Betty. Whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam, whoa, Black Betty. And I took it to a repair shop, because it went into derate mode, and they found that there was a short on the NOx sensor, NOx, which I had already replaced that sensor, that it was electrical wiring issue. They fixed it. And then there was another thing saying my fuel pressure had erratic information, which meant electrical as well. So they fixed it, and then I come through 9 Mile, and I got halfway through the dirt road, and it said derate 5 minutes. Check engine light came on, and I'm like, oh no, what now? But I was going downhill, so the derate didn't affect me. It was 25%, meaning I had 75% of my horsepower. But I got to the intersection where I got back on the asphalt, and then it T-bones into this highway. There's an empty lot, or a parking lot next to that. So I pulled in there, and my buddy Raul, the mechanic from Quality, I think he's at Volvo, but anyway, he had me buy one of these scan tools, because he goes, when you get those derates, you can 9 times out of 10 delete them, and it'll get you to keep going to where you're going, you know. So I did that, and it deleted it, but then, or it stopped it. I got back on the road, and I was about 3 miles of full power again. But then it came back and said engine in derate, and I'm like, man. But I was doing just this like right here, but it was kind of tough because I couldn't get my speed up. Well, I could get my speed up, I just couldn't do too much. I had no power. If I had any kind of hill, it would slow me way down. And there is a hill up here, and I was sitting here thinking, I go, man, how am I going to make this hill? I'll show you what I mean. In derate mode. So I was kind of stressing on it. It was dark, because I start usually about 3 a.m. and today I started at 7:30. It was like banker's hours, because I had that issue last night with that accident. Anyway, I got over this hill, and I'm thinking, you know, it derated on me once, well, the first time, and I was able to clear it enough to get a couple miles out of it, so maybe I could do that again. So it was getting lighter, and I go, well, when I get to where I can see that hill, then I'll pull over, hook my scan tool back up, and then read the code, then delete it, erase the code, and then I turn the engine off and turn it back on. Let it sit a few minutes, and I just parked right here on the highway, hit my flashers. You can see how busy it is. And so it worked, and I was able to at least get up that hill is all I was looking for. Like, just let me get up to the top, because after that it's all downhill, and I can do okay on level ground, small little grades, but not very much. Like right here I would lose a gear, maybe 2, because it was in derate. This is a little hill, look at it. So you see this big hill is coming up, and be like, wow. But anyway, it never went into derate again. It stayed full power, and the check engine light was still on. You can see where they shoot the signs right there. They're all shot up over here in Utah. Our road signs. Well, our friends in England and Australia and stuff. Well, probably in Australia, but they might do that. They trip out when they see Americans shooting their road signs. But I got back over to Duchesne's side, and still no derate. Look at the red up on that hill back. I don't know what you see back up there. Anyway, I got over there and I called Shades, and I told him, I go, well, it's not doing that. And then in the evening, afternoon, I loaded up again, another load. I debated on it, but since it wasn't derating, I figured I was okay. While I was loading, the check engine light went off. So I'm like, oh, okay. So later I talked with the repair shop again, and I'm like, so they go, what do you want to do? You want to bring it in? And I go, well, it's not doing it now. He goes, well, you want to just run it and see how it goes? And I'm like, yeah, let me just do that. So I did. I ran it and nothing, and I got to one of the deliveries yesterday, Wildcat, and nothing. And I turned the engine off just because I was waiting in line, and I turned it back on. Check engine light came on, and it said derate in 3 hours. And I was like, what is going on? Same thing as before. But when it happened the first time, it derated in 5 minutes. I've never seen it. It usually gives you 3 or 4 hours. This one said 5 minutes, and it did. It derated in 5 minutes. So I brought out my trusty tool and I cleared the code again, and it has been off ever since. So yeah, I don't know, and I've had my full power. So I don't know what's going on. So here's that hill. Now it doesn't look that much, but watch how many gears we lose. We're at 35. I'll hold on to you guys while I make this curve. I'm going to try to get as much speed as I can. I don't know why that car stopped on the hill. But we're coming through. I'm trying to give it everything I got. We're 36 miles an hour, 1,550 RPMs, and we're not gaining any more speed. So yeah, you try to climb this hill in derate mode, I was like, no way. So I pulled off back there a ways, and it worked. Here's 40 mile an hour, 41. Now we're going to drop 1 gear. There's 1. And then we're going to drop another gear. There's 2. And we're going to drop another gear. There's 3. We're going to drop 2 gears. And we are at 16 miles an hour, 1,600 RPMs. Hit the flashers on that nobody will see. So yeah, I was stressing pretty hard, like how am I going to climb this hill in derate? Maybe 1 first gear, like 2 miles an hour. And my whole thing was just let me get up to the top of this little hill and we'll be all good to go. If it goes back into derate, then it would be okay because it's pretty much all the way level and downhill to the terminal where we deliver. Up, shift, load a gear there. Turn off the flashers. Do the splitter, do the shifter. Boom, there. Let's get ourselves another gear. Right there. This is open range. A few aspen colors over here. Window's kind of dirty. Kind of reminds me of Colorado a little bit. I haven't got you guys looking that way, but I'm looking this way. I got you. it up. I put my Jake on. Hauling oil in the back roads. Yeah, the cell reception's pretty bad. I mean, kind of sketch doing this, because if you have an issue, like a breakdown, you ain't calling nobody. So I'm getting set up. I think I'm already set up. I think I have everything I need to fix my own tires. In other words, I need to find a place to hook a spare. I bought 2 wheels with 2 tires on them from another driver, Kyle. This truck is set up at 24 5s. A lot of people use 22 5s. And so he gave me a deal. One of them's like a new steer tire. They're both steer tires, but one of the steer tires had a bad alignment, so it's got a worn out edge, but still be good as a drive or even a trailer tire if necessary. But the trailer's their responsibility, so I would just call service. Hey, come fix your tire. But on my tractor, that goes on my dime, so I need to be able to do that myself. So I bought a 20-ton jack from Harbor Freight, but it was the crank up tight, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? I need to get one pneumatic. So then I bought one, I exchanged it for a pneumatic one, but it's also a hand crank. Pneumatic meaning it can hook up to air. And I just take off my red line and connect the line to that with a glad hand and put the fitting on the other end for the jack, so I can jack up the truck. Just an axle, not the whole truck, obviously. And then I bought a 1-inch impact, Milwaukee impact driver, cordless, so battery operated. The shop has one, and that's what they use most of the time. So I don't need pneumatic. So I can just change, I can break all the lug nuts off, and it even cranks them down to 475 foot-pounds, which you need 450 to 500 foot-pound torque. But, so yeah, I pretty much can set up, I'm set up to do it. The only problem is I don't have them in the truck. They're in the, one's in my Jeep, parts in my Jeep, other stuff's in the camper, tires are outside the camper. So I need to get that stuff, because it'd really suck to have a flat on my truck and not have everything to fix it, but not have it. It's like, why do you have it but not have it with you, you know? But I need to get that stuff put in this truck. I would never be on this road with quality. There would be no reason to. I think, I don't know, I never looked, because the road goes, like when it dead ends, I'm southbound, I turn right, so we're westbound right now. The road keeps going east for a while. I've never looked to see where it actually goes, you know? Does it dead end? Does it come out somewhere else? I don't know, because I haven't looked. Getting warm, I have to put the AC on. I don't know if you can see that, but this thing blows a freaking grip of dust at me. Oh, there's some deers. Oh dear. I finally smacked one with my pickup truck. I was on Douglas Pass, and I was cruising along about 70 mile an hour cruise control, and I looked down on my seat to grab something. I looked back up, and two deer just run up on the highway and stopped, and I did everything I could to avoid it, but I sent one flying off to the right. It took out my headlight, bent my there's a steel covering below the headlight, and then my bumper, but my fender and my hood are okay. That's on my 96 F250 7.3 diesel. So yeah, I mean, I don't like hitting animals. I've never have. That was the first one. Well, I should say deer and any kind of big animal. Little ones, you can't help it sometimes. Like those squirrels and rabbits, they just run out in front of you. Birds fly up and fly right out in front of you. They don't look. But anyway, need to get that stuff repaired. I'll do it myself. I just need day parts. So my phone has a bunch of stuff on it, memory. I need to go through and clear it out. The videos I should probably be posting too. But I got this other one that I'm using, the 10 5G Plus. We're back in cell reception. But yeah, I mean, it's tough doing this job. I mean, like I work long hours, and then when I get home, I'm just sit down, maybe have a beer or two, eat dinner, and go to bed. You know, get up real early. I go to bed at like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So you get up at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3. Get at least 7 hours. Oh, that was me. By today, starting at 7:30, and I already got. It's like lunchtime. I forget this is 25. But then it opens up. See? Yeah, like this, doing this stuff, you have to be like 100% paying attention all the time. Like even if someone comes up and talks to you, they can mess you up. That happened yesterday. Brandon, the other driver, he was loading right next to me, and I had a hard time seeing the screen, the computer screen, because the sun was shining right at it. I literally had to take pictures with my phone so I could cover the screen where I couldn't see it, so then I could look through the picture and see what I was typing in. Really pain in the butt. But anyway, I was hooking my pup up after I started loading oil, and then I hooked the pup up and load that first, and then disconnect the lines, clear them out, and then continue loading the primary trailer. But so I did that, and he was talking to me while I was doing that, and then I started loading the pup. And then after a while I realized I never hooked up my vent line to the primary trailer, which you do that and then you connect on the primary trailer to a vent recovery at the oil well. And that was like, he's like, I thought I was smelling something, and I'm like, I don't think I even had it open. You know, you take a container and you add fluid to it, but you don't let the air escape. And you got a potential little pop goes the weasel, you know? So, in a way, I think I did have the valve open, but it was just venting to the air, which is what you do sometimes. You have to, because there is no vent recovery. But there's no issues. I hooked it up and I was like, man, see that? We just talked a little bit and I totally spaced something out. So you have to really be on your toes, and so it doesn't really give me time to make videos. Well, I've made some, I just don't post them because you know, when I get home after working 14, 16 hours, you know, it's pretty much wipes you out, you know. Then it's 10 off and right back at it again. But I'm going to get back into it slowly. I'm trying. We got 11 miles, I believe, till the end of this highway. Comes out into Wellington. So here's, look at this sign. It got shot up real good. I think that's cool AF. So it's supposed to kick up to 40 mile an hour here. I hope I already passed it, but I'm gonna do, you know, 25. We're doing 37 and it seems too slow. I don't remember seeing it. Whether we passed it or not, I'm not going to deal with it because this is a 45 mile an hour highway. And you know, it says 40, but the next one says 50. So if we see a 50, we already passed the 40. Because this camera up here, the top left, right there, that snitches on us as far as speeding and stuff, you know. And I have a 99% score. I'm actually a number 1, number 2. Yeah, so we were good. Because there's the 50. So I just didn't see the 40. So I try to do everything I'm supposed to be doing, speed-wise. And I have a good rating. Try not to go over. An excellent rating. Anyway, this highway will take us out into Wellington, Utah, and I will zip you to that spot. Like right now, this video isn't too long. Anyway, see you in a minute. Okay. Some of you may recognize this, maybe not. Not from this angle, obviously. Never been here. I have. You haven't been here with me. But up here, we're going to make a left and a right. So I've made videos on Highway 6 before. Going up through, I don't know what canyon they call that. Something by Helper. This is the big valley, and then you go through the canyon. Get up on top and then come back down through another canyon. You come out to Spanish Fork, Utah. Oh. I could take off that Jake. Turn your Jake off. Put on the flashers. People are gonna have to wait. Where am I at? I'm trying to remember where my gears are half the time. So this is where, so I would come from Green River going to Salt Lake, let's say, or even if I was going to Seattle and I went home, I would take this way. Come into Wellington here. We are up to speed. Camp firewood. Oh, camp firewood. $10 a bag. Tools for sale. This is the part I would think you would remember if I did any videos on it. That's that Miller's truck stop right there. Don't nobody pull out in front of me, because you ain't gonna make it. There we go. Look at that. Because I can't stop. Absolutely cannot. Not quick enough, I should say. I can stop, it's just not quick enough. Okay, we're gonna coast around this corner here. Oh. There's another train right there. Let's get the right gear. Anyway, with that being said, call this video good for now. Thanks for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Until the next time, enjoy. Peace. I had to stretch farther. Get the camera on the other side of the truck. There's the oil train far to the left. So we're going to go get ourselves another load of oil. Bring it back here today. The Maverick truck. See ya!